Hi, hello everybody. Good afternoon. If you guys can actually hear me loud and clear, just type in hello inside the chat or type in GA for good afternoon. All right, so welcome everybody to our next level live. Okay, so for those of you who do not know who am I, so I'm actually Borwen. I'm the CEO of Next Level Academy. So I think you don't really see me that often, yeah, but I'm so excited to be here, yeah, because today we actually have got a very special guest that we have actually invited. Okay, I don't want to keep it a surprise because you have seen the poster. You'll know exactly who I'm talking about. Okay, so without further ado, can we just invite, our stock sniper Iris up? So of course, for all the audience over here, just a quick intro, okay, why we actually feel so honored to have Iris here is because Iris personally is a seven-figure female trader. Okay, I want to emphasize female because people always feel that investing or trading is probably a male-dominated industry, but actually not true. Okay, but maybe I will let Iris share with us more about your background, and maybe just to introduce everybody about you.
Hi everyone, and thanks Bowen for welcoming everybody. So for those of you who, if this is the first time that you are seeing me, my name is Iris Yuan. So just like most of the people out there working hard, I started my journey after graduation as an employee, and I was working hard as well because back in the days, I thought that working hard as an employee was the way to, to reach my freedom, and I was humbled by the truth, by the facts that it doesn't work that way. So I was trying to climb up the corporate ladder hard. I realized that working hard doesn't mean that you will increase your income, but it definitely means that you will, have more responsibilities and sacrificing more of your time. That means you have lesser control of your own freedom. So it came to the point whereby my health was not really at a good condition, even though I was in my 20s, and I definitely had little control of my time. And then that was the time when I questioned myself, do I want to continue this kind of situation for the next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? Or do I even want to climb up the corporate ladder to the location where, my directors is at? The answer is actually no. So that was the point I find that I lost my direction, and I was finding a way out. How can I, live a life where I have more control, where I can actually follow my passion and do the things I want? So that is how I get into trading. But the thing is, it didn't work in a way whereby, okay, I know it is stock trading, so I get into stock trading. It doesn't work like that. And what actually happened back in the days was, people were talking about crude oil, so I go and try. People talk about gold, so I also go and try. People talk about, blue chip counters in Singapore, so I also go and, have a study on that. Is after trying a lot of things, then I realized that actually you don't have to, be the jack of all cards, but what you need is to find something that fit into your lifestyle, that is working for you. So that's how after trying so many things, I basically, for now, I just focus on one thing, which is the stock trading, which has been benefiting me quite well over the years. Yeah, so that is just a brief introduction of myself.
All right, Ken, thanks, Iris. Right. So I think the question that a lot of people probably have, okay, and waiting for is, with regards to the topic, and that is the 80,000 a month, that you managed to achieve, spending less than an hour a week, right? So maybe we also want to talk about the 80K. Is that like a extraordinary amount, like in the last 30 days, or actually typically for trading, like what's the average kind of range are you looking at?
The 80,000, actually, if you didn't ask me, I wouldn't even care about what is the amount, because that wasn't my focus. What is my profit for a close for the particular month? For me, what I will focus on is, whether I'm doing things correctly, and how is the overall results. That means, year to date, what is my profit? So that is the thing that I focus. I don't really focus on the results of individual trades. Not even focus on the results of individual months. So for the 80,000, is it a surprise to me? The answer is no, because I was, so the way how I trade is that I now mainly do two types of trading. One is day trading, which I love it. It's active, so it's very good to generate some daily income. So when you are free, you can just show up when the market is open. For me, I mainly trade the US stock market. So I will just be there for about 15 minutes. And day trade is something that you in and out waiting. Usually it's waiting like a 10-15 minutes. Sometimes it can last longer, like half an hour or slightly more than that. But most of the time is like kind of you will be done with the trade in about, I would say, 10-15 minutes. So that's what I love about day trading. So that itself is able to generate a consistent about like $8,000 to $9,000 per month for day trading. The other one, which now is my bread and butter, I focus a lot, is what I call the NLT trade, which is the abbreviation for Northern Light Trading. Basically, it's a form of swing trading. So rather than today I in and out within the day, a trade can last for, let's say, usually on average is about a couple of 1 to 2 weeks. Sometimes it can go longer, about like 1 month to 2 months. Yeah, so the longest we ever had is the one, I think it's Tesla, or another one, RZLV, where it took about 2 months to hit the target. Usually when it take a long time, it's usually the result is very good. So we also don't mind like waiting for it. So that is my kind of a bread and butter, which is the NLT trades. So why it is my bread and butter trades? Because day trading, you still need to be there when the market opens. You have to at least spend that kind of a 10. Last time I used to spend 1 hour a day for day trading, but now it's about like 15 minutes a day. But I still have to spend that 15 minutes a day, when the market opens, which I ask myself, can I have a way whereby I can just trade whenever I want? That when the market opens, can I just do whatever I want? Don't even be in front of the desk. That is how the NLT trades can help. So for NLT trades, that you can trade anytime. Like for example, right now, even though market is closed, like just now we were talking about a few trades. If there is a good one, then we can execute the trades already. So that is the power of it. And on average, I take about like 4 trades, only 4 trades for NLT. On average is about that per month. So the 80,000 is actually most of the trades were open in September, some in early October. They also like 1 to 2 trades actually flowing from October. So it's like accumulated results about 80,000. So which is something that is a norm to the way how I trade. Yeah. So
Nice, nice. So maybe just to also have to clarify, so can I say that the 80K for the last 30 days, is it mainly from NLT or is it from day trade? Or like what's the percentage?
10,000 there it is about 10,000 from day trade. The rest is from NLT.
Okay, and if I never listen wrongly, right? You mentioned that actually day trade actually takes a little bit more time. Okay, about 15 minutes to half an hour a day. NLT trade makes a lot more money, and you are spending roughly how much time are you spending on NLT trade?
NLT trades usually, okay, if I never really calculate, but it's about 1 hour a month for me, around there.
1 hour a month. Okay, so I think our topic is wrong. So guys, sorry. Okay, it's not 1 hour a week, it's 1 hour a month. Okay, to generate 80K. Okay, 70K lah, just for the long term. Okay, maybe I also want to clarify like the question that people have lah. So actually, since the Northern Light trade is actually so profitable, actually why are you still doing day trade?
Yeah, a good question. So there are a few reasons. First reason is I have to fulfill my responsibility to my mentees, so I have to trade with them. So that is one of the important reason. Right? Whatever you promise them, you have to deliver. So second reason is that I love day trading. I love the passion. So I like the idea where you can spend, even though 15 minutes every day is not what I want, but I do like the idea that whenever you are available, you just allocate a short period of time, which is about 10-15 minutes, and then you can generate some daily income. So I love that kind of a skill and the kind of activity. Another reason, which is also very important, because I have been teaching students how to do day trading as well as NLT trades. So it doesn't make sense if I myself stop practicing that. So that's also one of the important reasons. So in short, these are the 3 reasons.
Okay, I think there's a couple of questions, asking about like how many trades do you do, what's the capital and all that. So maybe we can also dive into more on the strategy itself, right? So let's start off with day trade, because you mentioned that that's something that's still very, very important. Okay, so typically, like, what is the process like for people who wants to actually do a day trade? Like, how do we start doing it?
How do we start? You mean that
in terms for yourself, like when you do day trade, exactly like what do you do? What does it mean by day trade?
Okay. So it's my flow of day trade, right? The routine. So the thing is, you must understand the stock market actually has thousands of stocks. So is not efficient, or it's not even mission possible for us with one human with one pair of an eye to make sure that we look at all thousands of stocks, and then while everything is moving and you try to make a decision. It's just not possible, and it's not efficient as well. So the first important thing to do is to only focus on the best of the best. So that is what we call building the watch list. So basically every day, if let's say I'm trading for the day, I will spend, for me, because I'm very used to it. So all it takes me is about 5 minutes. So I will just basically go through the stocks that I know what are the things I am looking for, which in other words, there is a list of the criteria. So when I look at the stocks, immediately I will know this one, today, not interested. Today, this one good to watch for today. So I will put those who is very, is why I say it's simply like that. Is you look for stocks that has strong momentum to pop for the day, you put it on your watch list so that you can look for an entry to buy. And same thing, you look for stocks who's getting hammered today, who has a strong momentum to crash today. Then you put it on your watch list and you look for an opportunity to sell. Traders, doesn't matter whether you're using options or stocks, both can make money when the stock price goes up, can also make money when the stock price goes down. So after the 5 minutes, from thousands of stocks, I will end up with a watch list, which with about 10 plus minus stocks on the list, which now it is manageable, or that we can just focus on the few stocks on the list. So I will ignore all the other stocks. I will just focus on the best of the best. So then before market opens, because I will start screening about 9:15, 9:20, 9:15, because I need to share my watch list with my mentees. So I will start earlier. But if let's say you are trading on yourself, you can start at 9:20, because it start too early, or so the activity is not there yet. So like for me, it's at 9:15 I will start screening. 9:20 I will have my watch list ready. So I will still have about 10 minutes. Now I'll just go through the watch list to see which one has a very nice story. And very often is that before the market opens, you already will form a plan already. So you just need to wait for another maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes. You just execute the plan. So that's why I can in and out a day very fast. Usually 5 minutes later, I'm done for the day. It's like that because every effort was done before the market even opens. So that is like a flow of my day trading. But of course, can you stay longer? Let's say trade more than 1 hour after market opens. Can you trade like even all the way into the midnight, or some people are night owl. Can I trade like all the way until 2 a.m., 3 a.m.? The answer is yes. But why is it that I only trade like for such a short duration? Is because I find that this fit into my style. For me, I no longer spend that 1 hour trading anymore, because I just want to taste the passion of the trading, and also make sure that I keep on practicing it because I'm teaching that. But if let's say your goal is to look for more opportunities to more trade signals to generate more daily income, then the answer is very simple. The longer you stay, the more signals you will spot. That means the more income you can generate.
I see. Well, I love that because, personally for me, I always find that trading, it means that you have to spend a lot of hours looking at the chart and whole night, especially for us living in Singapore, it only opens after 9:30 p.m. Right. But in your case, typically the first 5-10 minutes, because you have done the work about 15 to 20 minutes before market open, and when the market open, typically you enter the trade, and then probably you're done everything less than half an hour. Right, so that is your flow of day trading. Am I right to say that?
Yes, you're right.
Okay. Yeah, I love that because I find that at least it's for people who are busy with work. It's like you don't have to really spend a lot of time. If there's a few trade that you can actually do at night, then you just do the trade and then you can go and sleep. Of course,
actually, you pinpoint a very important one. The reason I trade this way is because back in the days I was still working as an employee when I was practicing trading or day trading in particular. So I cannot trade long hours because next day I have to wake up early, I have to go to work. So if I have to trade like all the way into midnight, I would have given up already. So I was kind of forced to have formed the kind of strategy that allows me to trade a short duration of time so that I can still have my evening for myself, have a good rest, and then recharge and go to work the next day because I was still an employee. Yeah,
nice.
so that is actually also one of the reasons why I only trade a short duration of time.
Okay, just wanted to check because I think for a lot of the audience, who are watching this right now, probably they're also looking, at doing day trading after their working hours and all that. But personally for you, right, do you actually find that the trading affect the work on the next day? For example, if you make money, wow, the next day your work, everything is a lot smoother. Okay, you're happier. If you lose money, wow, then the next day, wow, cannot, it's like everything just doesn't go well. Does it affect you when you are actually working and doing the day trade at night?
At the start, definitely yes. At the start, yeah. So everybody will have will have some learning curve. So at the start, my emotion will also fluctuate with my portfolio, with my results of the prior day. But it will come to a point where you are so confident about the results because you track the results, that it will come to a point where suddenly the individual results, the outcome of the trades, won't hurt you that much anymore. It will still, I'll call it like a bite by the end. You'll still like sting a little bit for a few seconds. And after that, you're like, okay, let's move on. Just another trade, a nice trade, but it didn't work. So all you need to do is just keep trading. So short answer is at the start, yes, but then now no more really.
Okay, so I believe over time, as you start to manage your emotions better, have a better game plan, has a higher winning rate, then typically there will be less fluctuation and your emotion will be a lot more stable as well. Now, talking about tracking your portfolio, just now you mentioned, right? I think there's a question on by Ping Shan asking, how many trades do you take every day? Do you have a number?
It will surprise, I would say, most people. Let's say, I mean, NLT trades I already shared, right? On average, every month is about 4 trades, sometimes more, sometimes less. For day trade, people might be thinking, I take like, 10 trades, 20 trades a day. But the thing is, for me, I'm very selective. It's not about how many trades that you take. It's about how many high quality trades that you take. Because for traders, you see, when you are employee, you go to work, you punch your card, you will get paid for the day. That is like confirmed as long as you are employed. But for traders, if you show up and you take a trade, and if it's a lousy trade, it will hurt you will not be paid. But worse is that you will have to give the money to the market. So that's why I wasn't like kind of I never have that kind of a urge that I must take trades today. But for me, it's always, is it worth my investment? Because what I say is that, is there a trade signal? The trade signal, is it good enough for me to invest? So I am very, very selective, to the point whereby there will be like, let's say 1 day, 2 days that I just be there. I see nothing, that I'll just call it a day. So on average, I would say when I'm taking trades, it's about 1 to 2 trades. Most of the time, it's just one trade. And there are many days that I see there's nothing, not good enough, that I will not take the trades.
I see. Okay. I like that, you are very selective. It's quality over quantitative. I think a lot of new traders or people who just started, their fingers will be itchy, and they always have that mentality is that the more trade I do, the more money I'll make. Until the more trade they do, the more money they lose, then they start to realize that it's not about doing more trade, but it's really about selecting the right trade. All right. So moving on to NLT, because that is where you make most of the 80K in the last 30 days. All right. I think Victor is also asking this question. What kind of capital is required to do NLT to earn this kind of amount in a month?
For me, I allocated 50K to day trade and 250K to NLT.
Okay, so 250K, just now you mentioned that the profit is about 70,000. So that is what, roughly about 30% in a month?
Okay, cannot calculate like that. Okay, so I want to give you guys a practical view about what is the performance like. So think about it this way. Day trade is something, every day when market opens, you take a look at the intraday time frame, whereby intraday time frame meaning to say, I look at the 2 minute charts, I look at the 5 minute charts. Because the time frame is a lower time frame, things move faster. That means, you will be able to find more opportunities to make money. So day trade, in terms of the ROI, returns on the investment, it will be a lot higher compared to NLT trades, where if I'm aiming for 200%, which is something that I'm getting, it is actually a piece of cake. If I want to aim for even higher, 300%, it is possible. NLT trade, on the other hand, why I focus more on it is because it is very good when your portfolio is larger. So there is certain, you see, I don't want to go to the nitty gritties, but the thing is that when you are managing a different size of the asset, you will face different level of limitation. Simply put, it's like that. So that's why when your portfolio is slightly larger, uh, you should shift your focus from day trade to NLT trades. For NLT trades, then you won't be looking at 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute. In fact, you will be looking at daily chart. So that a number of opportunities will of course will be a lot lower compared to the one offered by day trading. But it doesn't matter because we focus on the quality. And now the kind of scale is different already. It's a different I would say level already. So for NLT trades, you wouldn't expect that okay today I will double my account, let's say in half a year, or I double my account in 1 year, because you are talking about different size of a portfolio. So that you wouldn't hear Warren Buffett say, "Hey, tomorrow I double my account." It doesn't happen. So it's the same idea. So for NLT trades, just to give you some idea, year to date, because I just had a session with my mentee, so we go through all the NLT trades. Year to date, the growth in my portfolio is it's about 70%. 70% growth on that 250,000. So not as fantastic as compared to day trading, which can be a few 100%, but we're talking about different size of portfolio. So this is something a lot of people fail to see. As your portfolio is getting larger and larger, you will expect the return to get smaller and smaller because you will be looking at things at a different level already.
Okay, I think there's a question that probably will also kind of connect to this by Gamble, and that is, you are so consistent, so why don't you allocate more in day trade?
So this goes back to the thing just I mentioned. When you have different size of the portfolio, you will face different level of limitation. So of course, the in an ideal scenario, I put everything into day trade, then I can always double my account regardless of my account size. But in reality, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. So I'll just give you a simple conclusion. Uh, if your portfolio is, let's say, 50,000 or 100,000, you can trade day trading like as per normal, nothing changes. You keep on like every day, every year you can expect a 200%. That one no issue once you have the skills. But the moment your portfolio size increase above the 100,000, let's say 200,000, 500,000, you will for sure face limitations. To the point, what is the limitation? That means you can only trade a few stocks that's super liquid. But of course, if you're using options, it's a different story. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So I mean, coming back to the NLT portion, right? I think we also want to find out in terms of like how do you actually manage your risk, and do you actually have to monitor it like on a day-to-day basis? How is that like for you?
NLT trades.
Yeah, NLT trade.
So how I manage the risk is, for me, the way how I trade is, I would say 90% of the effort is done before I make the decision to place my order. That means before I decide to take the trade, I already know at which level will I enter the trade, and at which level will I do aggressive cut loss if, let's say, things doesn't go in the direction that I want. Because nothing works 100%. So you must always know how to protect yourself, or in other words, protect your account. Because your account cannot, last if it cannot sustain. So that's very important. Then another important thing is, where will I put my profit? So once everything is like check, okay, then I will send my orders. I don't really need to check the trades after I send my orders, because as you can see, my cut loss point is there already. My profit taking point is there already. But I do from time to time take a look at the chart, because you got your capital investor. So it's like, you know, a few days, you can just open the chart and take a look. 1 second, okay, all good, nothing needed. Then you just move on. So they can say 1 second a day to monitor the portfolio, because mainly there is nothing to do. Yeah.
Okay, but of course, I think like what Iris said is super easy. But of course, the challenging part is for Iris when she enter. You already know what is your entry, what is the take profit, and what is the stop loss, right? And I believe these are all things that you already put into the brokerages. So which means that
Yes.
when you hit the TP, automatically the system will help you to sell and take profit. When you reach the stop loss, it will also help you to exit the position. That's why technically, even if you go holiday, you're not around, but everything is ready, placed, the order is placed, technically can just let it run. Am I right to say?
Yes, correct. So
Okay.
I mean, in case you wonder like how to do that, does it require a special software and API to do that? Actually doesn't. For me, everything I use is everything you have access to. So it's just something called a bracket order. It's that simple. Any professional broker should have that kind of a function.
Okay, yeah. So for those of you who wants to find out more, yeah, please go and YouTube. Okay, the bracket order. Okay, now I think we have talked about the day trade, we have talked about the NLT trade. Let's also talk about, what is even more important, and that is the mindset and the psychology behind your progress and your transition to become a full-time trader and a very successful one. Okay, let me ask like, do you have any massive losses or learning phases, when you actually first started all the way until today, and can you share with the audience also?
Yes, I not something I'm proud to say. Yeah, so I actually bankrupt my trading account 2 times. So the first actually when I do it was a painful lesson, and the one that gave me the most painful lesson was the one when I was using eToro for the trading, and I was using the leverage. And the time there was something called the XIV, which is the invert of the VIX. And I was so confident on my strategy that I put everything in just that kind of fund. It was a fund managed by the Credit Suisse, and then when market wants to humble you, it will really do a way that it will surprise you in a not in a pleasant way. So what happened is that one day after I invested in the fund, 100%, it just crashed. And then I was thinking, okay, then I force myself to become a long-term holder. I hold on, and then you will be all good. But the thing is, when it crashed so much, there is such a so-called the criteria that the fund actually has the right to close the fund. So Credit Suisse actually closed the fund, and then I was forced to cut loss. So that was a very painful lesson that even until today I still don't want to use eToro anymore. Yeah. So, but if you ask me like what is the key lesson, because what it is what it is. There's nothing we can do to change the result of that. But what we can make it better is to learn from it, and that is also the one thing that made me so disciplined in terms of the risk management. For now, I will anything I do doesn't matter how much I love the trade signal. I will never do it like say, oh, this one I love it, then I will invest more. It's always the same. I always follow the risk management. So that is the first time. Then second time was when I was doing the iron condo that requires a lot of management. And for me, it was really a suffer because it didn't fit into my lifestyle. Because iron condo is sometimes when there are major events, then you need to do the adjustment. Sometimes have to stay until midnight to do so. That from there, if I made some money, but I just find it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So from that, I actually learned something that whatever there are so many things that is attractive, so many instruments that you can do, options, crypto, forex, everything, and you can do it all of them, and you can master all of them if you want to. But the thing is, you don't have to. Your job is to make sure that you find something that is suitable for you, so that when you do it, you don't suffer. You don't, you want. For me, I want to trade because I want to, have my time freedom. But if let's say I have to trade and then I lose my freedom at night, and then I lose my health because I have to stay out monitor the screens, then it's like not doing what I want. So that's why from these two I would say lessons I learned right now. I Even though there are many people talk about crypto, forex, which I also tried before. For now, I just keep it simple. I just look at the charts. Mainly, I trade stocks. Of course, sometimes I will use options as well, but mainly it's just stocks and options. I keep it simple. There are many other things shining out there, which I know there's a lot of potential, but I pick things that fit into my style.
Oh, I love that. I love that because I think people are always chasing the shiny object, But in your case, I think there are a lot of strategies out there. But what is important is to find a strategy that fit your lifestyle. So some people maybe they like to stay, at night they don't sleep. Then maybe they can do day trade, throughout the night. Yeah, but in your case, you prefer to have your own time, prefer to have the time freedom. That's where the NLT trade is actually a lot more suitable. Okay, and it also helps you because it is something that you are very comfortable with, and fits into your risk appetite and the reward as well. Right, so that's how you continue to build on the momentum. Right. So maybe before we move on to the next question, okay, also we want to check in with the audiences over here. Like how many of you, right, have actually done trading before? If you are a trader, you've done a trade, type in 1. If you're totally new to trading, can type in a 0. Okay, so at least we know that how many of you are new to trading and now how many of you are actually so-called existing trader, right? Yeah, so let's talk about losses, because just now you talk about losses and you also mentioned that, don't see the losses as the losses, but you actually turn it into a learning lesson, that actually taught you about the risk management, that actually you still, stick to it right now because of that losses, right? Let's talk about in terms of the mindset shift, because I think as a trader, what is also important is to, just now you talk about losses, but let's also talk about the greed portion, because there are times whereby there are all these shiny objects, there are certain trade that you might want to take bigger, so-called, position. What is the thing that helps you to manage that that greed, I would say?
It takes some practice. It does take some practice. So sometimes you need to remind yourself about the principle, about the systems. So for me, every trade, be it, Tesla, which a lot of people love, or Apple or Microsoft, when I take the trade signal as an NLT trade or day trade, I always size the trade the same as compared to a stock that I don't even know. So all I care about is the quality of the signal. But there are certain things I will do to stocks that I really love. That, for example, Tesla or like Amazon, or Apple, which I really love, is that I may give you some leeway on the quality of the trades. So, for example, like the chart is telling the kind of story like this. If it's another stock which is just a stock, a company, then I will be very selective. Then I will not take the trade. I want the signal to look a lot better. But if let's say it is Tesla, same chart, but because it's Tesla, then I will give it some leeway. Then I will invest in the trade signal. So that is the only adjustment I will do. But it will never be the case where I love it, that I put in more so that I risk more. The risk exposure is always controlled, is always the same.
Okay, wow, I love that. So I'm glad that you're still human. So there are still that so-called, okay, not say greed, but there will still be that adjustment, but not in terms of the portfolio sizing, but in terms of, the criteria to entry. Okay, a bit more leeway. Yeah, I think this is totally normal because I experienced that as well. All right, so maybe I also want to check in, because when it comes to day trade or NLP trade, right, there will be days whereby the trade just go against you. Like, wow, today you buy, then wow, the moment you buy it drop. How do you handle it? Or does it affect you? Do you have emotion?
Well, you ask as if I'm AI, do I have emotion? Yeah, of course I have emotion. So I will be lying to you if I say that I enter a trade, then immediately you stop me out, then I feel nothing. Of course you will feel, ayo, how come it's like that? You will feel that for probably a few seconds. But the emotion, as you practice, the emotion will not last. So the difference between someone who is experienced in trading and someone who is new is that for beginners, when they experience a losing trade, usually they will either do revenge trading, take more trades but no quality, or they will just stop trading because it affect their confidence. But for someone who is experienced, they know that it's just, it just happens. It's just part of the game. Now, will they feel that kind of, I would say, disappointment, when a trade didn't work? I believe it will still be there for a few seconds, but will it last? The answer is no. Because as you keep trading, then the winning trades will come. You will know that actually overall you are still making money, good money, consistently. So that is why it's always important to remind yourself. Number one is to track your trades. Number two is to remind yourself to focus on the bigger picture. So sometimes when I have not say lose like having losing trades, like sometimes I will experience losing streak. That means multiple losing trades happen one after the other. So will that affect me? It definitely will affect me a little bit, but the kind of impact will not be strong. But what I will do to remind myself to focus on the big picture is that I will just look at the overall track sheet, that tracking the results. Now I will see actually, wow, this portion I also had a few losing trades, or this few days I also had a few losing trades. But then these few days, wow, these few months I had a lot of winning trades. The overall, wow, good money. So I am reminded to see the bigger picture. And then that is where you kind of shift back to focus on the right thing.
Wow, I actually love that. I actually caught a few important things, right? And that is number one, a lot of people when they lose money, okay, either they will take more trade, which is what you mentioned, revenge trading, or some of them they will stop investing or trading entirely. So it's either they take more trade or they stop. But in your case, is you move on. You move on to the next setup. You move on to the next so-called position that has a entry itself. All right. So I think for people who are actually who have experienced losses and the fear and the emotions, right? Okay, don't worry, you are like Iris. Okay, Iris is also like you. Think of it that way. Okay, yeah. So can everybody just type in move on? So you need to be like Iris. Move on to the next setup. Move on to the next trade. I think this is something that is important. Right? I think that's a great question by TFTF, and that is, do you actually take the same risk size? Or some of the trade you take a smaller size, some trade, or like what's the sizing like?
The same. It's the same. So for me, every day trade I take is a fixed amount. That means the worst case I will just lose that fixed amount, which I call it 1R. Why is it called R? 1R. Why is it not other letter? It's because R stands for risk. So same thing for NLT. NLT trades. If I like the signals, then I will invest 1R in their trade signal. That means worst case I will lose 1R. Then if I hit target, I will make 2R from the trade for most of the case.
Okay, yeah. So it's about consistency. I'll probably pick some of the questions from the ground. It might varies like different kind of question. I think there's one that is by Nelson. What is the view on the current market movement with the tariff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always got asked by my mentees like, why today FOMC should we stop trading? Trump and why China US fighting, should we stop trading? I always get asked on this. The simple answer is I just trade as per usual. It is not changed. In fact, when there is more of volatilities, it also brings in more opportunities. But the important thing is you need to really see between the lines. It means you need to read the story that is told by the chart to really find the gems that is offered by the market. Yeah. So in short, actually, there's nothing we should be worried about. For me, I just trade the same way how I used to trade a few months ago or a few years ago. It's the same.
All right, cool. And another question by Tay Yen. Do you invest in stock for long term without stop loss?
Yes, I do have my long-term portfolio, but it's really like the business that I love. So for that one, you have to be very very patient. So for me, what I will do is that I have companies that I love. One of them I already mentioned is Apple. Berkshire Hathaway is also one of them in my portfolio. But for those things, it's not like day trade. It's not like NLT that you will see opportunities like once a few months or once a few times a day. It wouldn't be like that. It will be maybe once a few years. So you have to be really patient and also be decisive when the opportunity kick in. So for me, similar to Bowen, I love to combine fundamentals and TA. But I also know that when you do that, right, opportunities doesn't come that often. But when it comes, which we already experienced that for the past few years, you must make sure that you have the capital ready and be decisive and take the opportunity. So yes, I do have that. And then for those long term that business I really love, I don't set stop loss for that.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for answering that. And I love this question coming by Paul. Okay, because he mentioned that you say you like to trade Apple or Amazon, but movement wise, Apple has limited upside. So how do you actually make money from this stock?
Oh, I didn't say I like to trade Apple and Amazon. I mean, I love these two companies, as in I like the business. But when it comes to trading, I treat them the same as other stocks. So if let's say Apple offer me an opportunity, which I did day trades on Apple as well. Amazon, we also like did NLT trades. I think in the last 2 months, we had Amazon trade that was doing very well, hit target. So it's about whether it gives me what I want or whether the story is what I want. If yes, that means if there is a signal, then I will take the trades. So it doesn't matter. Apple, when it moves, it can also move a lot.
Hmm. Okay, guys. So anyway, if you have more questions, okay, do continue to keep them coming. Along the way, when the time is right, I will pick some of the question and then I will help you to ask as well. All right. Okay. So I also wanted to check in with Iris in terms of like some of the learning lesson for all the traders over here. I think just now, quite a number of the people are actually existing trader. Okay, probably like 1 or 2. I think there's only 1% that has not yet started. All right. So maybe you can also share like what is the biggest mistake that you see most traders are making today?
The bigger mistake is, okay, actually there are a lot of mistakes. The biggest,
Top three, top three. Maybe you give three.
okay, I'll just touch on a few things. But if let's say what I say, uh, uh, if sounds a bit harsh to you, just understand it's coming, uh, from the angle that I really want to help you. So don't take it personal. But the thing what I see is a lot of people. I think it also has something to do with how digitalized the world is, and then you hear everyone is claiming they are the professionals. They are the one that can do very well, and then you search YouTube on how to trade. You see all those videos about I double my account in 1 day, in 2 days, or I 1,000 grow my account in 30 days. All those things that will catch people's attention. And when you don't have the knowledge or the strong foundation, it's very tough for you to see what is hidden inside. That means if you listen, wow, then you will suffer. I would say that if you don't know how to trade, that means when you look at the chart, if you don't understand how will you plan the trade, that means where will you enter, where will you cut loss, and where will you book the profit. If you don't understand what is the risk to reward, that means you are not ready to trade. Now, doesn't mean that that is the end of the world. It just means that you need to invest in your knowledge, in your foundation first. Because if you don't do that, the market will take money from you, and the market will keep taking money from you. And the worst is that you wouldn't understand why it didn't work. And that happened to me when I was in my early trading days. So I would say, if I only have to say one thing, is that before you start anything, you make sure that you have the foundation. No foundation, no trade. Then just put the money, I don't know, unit trust, which I don't like, or put it into FD. That is better because at least FD can give you some interest rather than taking the money away from you. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I actually got this question by Ryu. How does Iris maintain her health as a trader since the US market is always late night? Yeah, I think we can see like Iris is like 40 plus, but she look like 20 plus. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
You are 60 plus.
Yeah, actually I'm 60 plus, but I look like 20 plus. Yeah.
Okay,
So
actually, that's
how do you manage your health? Yeah.
Okay. For now is that when I do day trade, like I said, right, I started about 9:15 Singapore time, and then 9:20 I will have my watch list ready. Then from 9:20 to 9:30, usually I will answer some questions from my mentees, or I will just look at the stocks on my watch list to prepare. So usually I'm down 5 minutes after market open, or latest I would say 9:45, half an hour. Yeah. So from I would say from 9:15 to 9:45, that half an hour it is still early, right? So it is not like late enough to affect my health. And then for me, because all the other time is my free time, so for me, how I improve my health is that every day I will go to the gym. The first thing I will do in the morning is that I will go to the gym. Then I will do some yoga also throughout the day. And then I'll practice meditation as well. Then I make sure I eat healthy. And yeah, so that is how I improve my health. So over the years, actually my health condition has improved a lot. Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, there's an interesting question over here. Can the big boys or the market player see your trade and stop loss in order to make your move evaporate your orders?
Yeah. So there is a lot of people are saying this, wow, if I have my stop loss, then they can see my stop loss, then they will haunt me, and then just to stop you out. Hey guys, so many traders, if they really do that, it wouldn't be on us. If you think about that, so now will they be able to see? I mean, I cannot, because there are certain hidden things, so I cannot say 100% they cannot see. But I'll just say that it is not something that we should be bothered about. Yeah. So, but it's important for us to always make sure that when things is not going in the direction that we want, we must exit. It doesn't matter if it's the big boys hunting your stop loss. I mean, if you think about that, why would they bother, about hunting our stop loss when there are so many other big players in the market? If you think about that, does it make sense? So focus on how you trade. Focus on how you manage your trades, the risk. The rest, even if let's say there is, it's not something that we should be bothered about.
All right, cool. Yeah. So I think maybe Iris, just to check, like, do you have any advice for traders who are actually working very, very hard, right? But then in terms of their result is just like not consistent. Any advice for them?
Mm. So the like I said, right, the before you start trading, the first thing is to have the foundation. Because if you trade the wrong way, doesn't matter how hard you trade, the result will be the same. Because there is a hard truth that when you hear, you might feel a bit disappointed. But I think is since there's a question asked, then it's important for you to know that the truth is the market doesn't reward the effort. You can trade a lot of trades. You can trade every day, but the market doesn't care. It doesn't reward effort. It actually reward how accurate you are in terms of the trade, finding the opportunities. So that is why I say before you even start trading, the foundation is very important. So let's say you have the habit of tracking the trades. Let's say you already learned how to trade, and then you are tracking the trades, but you don't see the results. That basically suggests that something is not applied correctly. So you have to review your trades. Look at the charts, and then see what are the mistakes is made. Or importantly is to ask your mentor. Because certain times very often it's very tough for you to see your own blind spot. That's why it's called blind spot. So ask your mentor to help you, and then once that is uncovered, you will start to see there is a transformation in your results.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, you talk about having a mentor, having somebody to guide you, right? I think there's also a question by K.
Mm.
K is helping you to advertise. So he said, "Can you share more about your masterclass and what it encompasses?" Okay, yeah. But basically, I would say that, okay, I think over here, we want to share as much value as possible. But if you all want to really find out more about, what Iris has to offer and, what does she teach in her masterclass, okay, yeah, maybe we can put you into the right resources, okay, so that you all can actually go and sign up and then you all can go and listen from there. So maybe our team can put up the link for the masterclass, okay. Yeah, so thanks K24 for helping us to, find the right chance to put it up. All right. Yeah. But of course, let's come back to the topic itself. All right. So maybe for Iris, just want to check, like, in terms of for yourself, right, in terms of the plan, do you have any future plan, like, moving forward?
Uh, it's so funny. Just now, yesterday, I had a call with Liner. So basically, for those who don't know who is Liner, he's my mentor who taught me how to speak. Trading is one thing, but being a speaker, how to speak so that your students can understand what you're talking about, that is another skill. So I was having a chat with him, and then he was also asking about, what is my plan moving forward. He asked about, how's the schedule like every day, like what do you do? So for now, I am at the stage where even though I'm young, in my early 30s, but I really have a lot of my time. But I wouldn't say that I like every day I don't have anything to do. So for me, last time I focused a lot in trading. But once you reach certain level, you also want to kind of aim for higher growth. So right now, I invest a lot of my time in other personal growth. So I spend a lot of time reading books, and also, one of my major goal, the milestone I want to clear is to master value investing, like how Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger, is doing that. So by the more I learn about it, the more difficult I find how tough it is. That's why there's only one Warren Buffett. But I think I will invest my future years just to master that, while keeping stock trading as one powerful source that give me the confidence to create sustainable income for myself. So which is also something that I want to share with you, since we're on this topic, is that the reason why I actively share about stock trading is because stock trading is something anybody can master. But I'm not saying that it like, or today I share with you, then tomorrow you become the master. It doesn't work like that. Anything, good things takes time for you to master. But it is definitely something that once you master, now you don't have to have a passion for stock trading like me. The fact is that when I started stock trading, I don't have the passion. It's because I mastered it. Wow, then I see how the reward it has. What then I get to love it more and more. But the thing is, once you master the skills, you have the baseline, you have your security. It is much secure than anything that you can find, like for example, your job. So you can have the time to explore other passion that you want. So now is this is how I position it. Stock trading is like my baseline, my security. I know that I've spot a few NLT trades. I will have a very decent 5 income on average. Is a I mean, if I look at the trades, the 4 trades I take on every month is about 30,000 every month, which is also very decent. The for US dollars, and then I do some additional day trades. Then that's another like a few thousand or 10,000 a month. So I know that even if when I have the time, I have the foundation is there that I can have the confidence to keep on pursuing what I want. So what our plan is that I will spend a lot of time. Now the next stage is to master value investing. So that's what is the plan for me for the future.
Wow, that is amazing. Wow. So it's really going like the next. And I think when it comes to value investing, because I think you mentioned that people have that perception that anybody, or if I just started, I should do value investing. But in your definition, like people with like 10 million and above, then you should really go into value investing. Am I right?
Yes, yes. Yeah, actually, thanks for bringing that up. So the funny thing is, most people start value investing first, and then they move on to stock trading. But for me, it's the opposite. I focus a lot on stock trading. Now I want to do value investing, and the reason is because when your account is smaller, you need velocity. You see, the value investing who is the best is Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett is getting how much returns is about, okay, slightly less than 30% every year on average. But if let's say we talk about day trading itself, you can double your account in 1 year, like 200%, or even 200%, which is 3 times your account in 1 year. But does that mean that stock traders, day traders are better than Warren Buffett? Because day traders, they can have 200% results in a year, but Warren Buffett only got 30% results in a year. No, it's not, because it's not even comparing apple to apple. Look at the size he's managing. It's in terms of billions. But for day trading, like I said, right, once you reach 100,000, then you have to focus more on NLT trades. And then once you reach a couple of millions, NLT trades will also give you that kind of limitation. So that's why I'm not at a juncture whereby I'm forced to focus on value investing. Else, I cannot scale up my account. So this is also, now passion wise is one thing, reality wise is another reason why I have to focus on value investing.
Right, I think this is super, super important. So guys, if you're watching this, right, I also got something that I wanted to touch on as well, because like what you mentioned is like, let's say Warren Buffett is doing 25%. If let's say this year my capital is, let's say, $10,000, I'm doing 25%, I would feel that I'm actually doing okay. Like, you know what, I'm on par with Warren Buffett. But in reality, am I doing okay? Actually, I might not be. All right, because based on my 10K, my 25% is only 2005, compared to Warren Buffett, who's making billions from his 25%. Now, if you look at it from another perspective, if let's say today you were to give Warren Buffett 10,000, you take away all his money and give him 10,000, do you think he will still be making 25% only? All right. Then you will realize that he could be, finding deals that give him a few 100% or 1,000%, with his knowledge. Right. So I think that's also something that, when I first started, I thought that I'm doing well, until I saw people who are doing a lot better. Then I realized that there's so much more that I can actually achieve. That there's the world is so big out there. Right. And I also want to thank Iris personally, okay, because I think I started trading many, many years back, and I lost money. Okay. Yeah, but after I learned from Iris in terms of trading, I think that was about last year, 1 year plus. Okay, I think the result has actually been really, really amazing. I think Cake24 is also asking in terms of like the ROI in terms of percentage. Okay, I think he might have missed the earlier sharing. So maybe Iris can also share, like, in terms of day trade and NLT trade, what's the average month to monthly return like?
Month to month, like I said, I don't really look at month to month, but I can share year to year. 1 year, like for day trade, is very consistent, 200%. For NLT trades, last year is, if I'm not wrong, is about 80%. So this year, so far until like as of yesterday, is about 70%.
All right. Yep. So I hope that answered K24 question. Okay, we just take on one more technical question by TF. Can share like what is the best way to TP on swing trade?
But best way to TP on swing trade. So if you're asking about the execution, is it TF? So how I do, right? Like I shared just earlier, whenever before I enter the trade, I already know where I will TP. I know where I will enter. I know where I will cut loss. I know where I will TP. So when I enter the trade, I have all 3 orders all sent together. So the moment it is in, let's say my order is triggered. Uh, trigger means if fulfill the condition, then the order is auto sent by the broker, and then the broker basically manage my order for you. I don't even need to be there. That's how I have the time freedom, for the trades. And then the TP and stop loss will immediately be working orders in under the order tab in your broker. So then you just have to walk away. You don't have to do anything. So once it reach the price, the TP order will be filled. It's
I
that
think for
simple.
him it's more of like what kind of a setup do you actually look at to know like where exactly is the
Okay. I see. So when I enter a trade, I look at, okay, to summarize that, the gist of how I trade is very simple. I look for a good story, a nice story. So you can think about the charts. Amateurs, when they look at the charts, they see a bunch of red and greens, the bars, the candlestick. They don't see anything. So that's why they need the help of the indicators, which is a bit useless. Sorry, excuse me for my words. But for me, I just look at the candlesticks. I see the story between the buyers and sellers, and I look for a very nice story. But the nice story itself is not good enough, because you always have to ask yourself, hey, where can I TP? What is my risk to reward? So that's why we need a good story that is forming at a nice location. If these two things is checked, that means there is a trade signal. So how do you know where to TP? You look at the location.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks, Iris. Okay, so guys, if you have more questions, okay, now is really the best time because it's very difficult for us to invite Iris up, okay, because yeah, she's busy doing yoga, gym, and making money. All right, nah, just kidding. Okay, but maybe for Iris, I just wanted to check with you, like in terms of like moving forward also. So next year, do you think there'll be any changes in terms of like the way you actually trade?
Yes, there will be some changes. So I I want to have more control of my time. So next year onwards, then I will focus even more on the NLT trades. So this year, because I'm trading with my mentees for the day trading, so I still have to commit certain amount of time every week to trade with them. But for next year onwards, I will have probably trade maybe once every month or few times every month only for day trade. But NLT trade, it will be I will enhance the focus. That means I trade even more frequently. So that will be the change for the way how I allocate the portion for day trade and NLT trade.
Okay, I think earlier on, some people were also asking like, do you use any software or indicators to help you to actually look for all these trade? Like, do you have any bot and all that? Now with AI and stuff, like, yeah. So yeah, do you have?
This actually brings up a very interesting story. So do I have? The quick answer is I don't have. Do I want to have a bot? Yes. So the fact is, I did spend some time trying to train the ChatGPT to at least, I'm not even expecting this to find a trade signal for me. I just need the ChatGPT to at least filter some good story at a good location for me, so that at least I look at fewer stocks to screen, then it's faster, even faster for NLT. Then I train, then it's either ChatGPT give me the output that it's like going everywhere, which is not exactly what I want, or if I kind of fine tune the criteria, the output is zero. Then I was like, for me, I only spend 1 hour a month to find the opportunities. But then ChatGPT training it itself is not even giving the outcome. So I hope that AI can develop much more in the future, that make it easy to like kind of automate the trading for us, because the way how I trade is more discretionary, which for now I think AI still have some room for improvement in order to do that. But I believe in the near future it is possible. So my mentee, he also tried to want to code a book to trade like us. And then he go and try, he say, hey, Iris, now I understand why you said that our human eye screen is actually much faster. So now very simple, I use TradingView for the charting. So TradingView, definitely if you're doing trading, like say day trading, you need to subscribe for the data. That means invest that $10 per month to have the live data. Else, how do you do day trade? So there are certain investment that you have to really invest in order to think about yourself as a business owner. You want to run the business as a trading. You cannot say, hey, there's zero I want to invest, right? So that $10 for the live data is something that you want to invest for if you're using TradingView. But of course, there are other platforms that is free. Like for example, I think Weibo, the charting is free. That one you can be resourceful, use that, then you don't have to invest. But for me, I use TradingView because it has a lot of charting that is easier for me to teach. when I use that. So then that is for charting. Order execution wise, I use 𝗵𝗃𝗲 and also Thinkorswim. So, but between the two, I prefer 𝗵𝗃𝗲. Now, is there any other software I'm using? The answer is no. So these three is all I have, which, like I said, right, is also available to all public.
All right, cool. I got one last question for you. Okay, so I think the question that people always ask is, what does success mean to you? Okay, so I mean, for most people, like, it's about, you know, making money and all that. But now that you already have money, right? So Iris, what does success actually mean to you right now?
Success, actually, last time I thought that I am a person, I love money. That's why when I was an employee, I work very hard. But then now I don't know, over the years, when I have a lot of money, then I realize money to a point it's just a number. But there are many other things that is way important than money. Like for example, the relationship, right, with your friends, with your family. That one's super important. Your own health is very important, and your value to the society. So it's very important. So for now, sorry, what was your question?
Yeah, basically, just what does success mean to you?
Success, yes. So for now, I my the thing that will, I would say, motivate me. I mean, success will consider as me as being successful is no longer about, you know, how much money I can make in trading, but about, you know, how much more I can improve myself in terms of my personal growth. If I can master stock value investing, also like add that to my, you know, repertoire as the skills, well, then I will consider myself as even more successful. If I can help others, you know, master stock trading so that they can change their life, that itself I will consider myself being also very successful. So it's like a few avenues that I will consider. Once that is checked, then wow, I'm more successful. So it's mainly about personal growth and also like giving back to the society.
All right, cool. I think you know, where do you find those nice stories? Okay, in the chat. Okay. Yeah,
Where do I find the nice stories? Actually, very simple. I just go through them one by one because I do it very fast. Like one chart, I can within 1 second I can actually take a look at about maybe 1 to 2 charts, because most of the charts every chart has story, but only a few charts has nice story. So that's why you can stream them very fast. Like nothing interesting, nothing interesting. Just move on until something interesting. Then you take a closer look. So short answer is I just go through the stickers one by one.
Okay, yep. So I think really we want to appreciate Iris for actually coming on to our next level life, right? So Iris, just now you also mentioned that, you know, your next aim in life is to really, you know, teach more people about trading and make sure that they are actually successful, you know, just like yourself as well. All right. So for people who actually wants to learn more from you, you know, where can they actually get more resources?
They want to learn from me where they can get more resources. I'll say if you want to start your trading journey now, then you can attend a master class. That one is the 1 hour session, right? Yes. So this at least can give you some, I would say, overview about what is day trading. So I won't talk too much about NLT in the session, but mainly will be focused on the day trading. If let's say after the session you find that actually trading is the, for me, it's like an exit strategy for me for day trading, from as an employee to someone who can have the freedom, then you can take the next step to, you know, come for my 2 day workshop where I will basically teach you how I trade. So I think that with that, right, then you will have everything about how I trade already.
Yeah, that's right. So guys, so make sure that you actually invest in yourself. I think, you know, the best investment is not in any trade or any signal or anything, but rather in yourself. I think that is really like the highest ROI, right? I think for me, I also invested time to learn from Iris, you know, and last year, just to also share, okay, not trying to brag, but I'm very happy that I managed to achieve like 6-figure portfolio gain. Right, and I think just over the last 3 months, right, I also started a new, because I used the money to go and buy a car. Then I have to restart my portfolio, right? So 3 months back, I kind of restarted my portfolio after buying the car, you know, and I managed to grow it by about 260% based on my last check. Right. So I think one thing that I also wanted to let everybody know is that I think Iris just now mentioned that trading is like you can take the money out and you can really like spend it, you know. But when it comes to like value investing, sometimes you're holding there, right? You don't dare to take out. You're scared you take out already, then the price continue to go, then you're like, yeah, but you're also scared that if you don't take out, then the price drop, then the money. So I always say that the money is yours when it is inside your bank account. Okay, then you can really like spend it. And I think the power of trading is, if you have the consistency to actually generate that additional income on a month-to-month basis, that is something that for some people it could be retirement income. For some people that can really help to grow your portfolio, so that later on you want to go into like full-time investing, or set aside for some long-term growth. At least you need to aim for higher. I think if you are aiming for like 10%, 15%, I really highly encourage you guys, if you are just starting out, give yourself a higher target. Okay, give yourself a higher target. People are achieving, like Iris, they trade 200% on a year-to-year basis. NLT trade is about 70-80% on a year-to-year basis. Okay, so these are real people doing it. And of course, at Next Level Life, we also want to share with you and invite more people, to share with you that these are all real examples, real case studies. They have a lot of students who have achieved similar result as well. Everything is very, very real. It's just for you to really experience. So Iris, before we actually end off today's Next Level Live, do you have any one final message for all the audience who are actually watching this?
One final message. Okay, so I believe the fact that you are watching this video is because you want to find a different way to grow your hard-earned money, or whether you are an employee, or whether you are a business owner, or whether you are someone who a full-time trader but want to improve the results. There's something that I always remind myself: if nothing changes, nothing changes. So that means if you want to see a different results, you must start the change now. It's either improve the way how you trade, or you invest in your knowledge. Because like Borwen mentioned, right, the best investment, in fact, it's also something that Warren Buffett said, the best investment is not stock trading, it's not like crypto, it's not property, it's actually in yourself. So once you invest in your knowledge, you give yourself the time, the patience, practice, and it won't take like a long time. I would say some people very fast, a few months, some people slightly lower, a few years, but it's much better than investing, spend like 40 years, 50 years as in the employment, and then to when people reach the 60s, 70s, some people cannot even return. So once you have the skills to set the foundation to generate some income for yourself, like for example for me it is trading, you will know that once you have that, nobody can take away that skill from you. So now the question is, do you want to give yourself that kind of opportunity to start right now? Because if you procrastinate, then going back to just now what I said, if nothing changes, then nothing changes.
All right, with that, that kind of conclude today Next Level Live. So once again, everybody, let's just type in 𝗂𝗂𝗂, which is clap, 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 and let's really thank, Iris for spending the time with us, okay, over this lunch hours. We hope that you guys have got a lot of value and golden nuggets from this, 1 hour sharing as well, right? And of course, we hope that you guys can actually continue to join us in our upcoming Next Level Live, where we actually share with you even more, from crypto to trading to investing to property as well. All right, so once again, thank you so much, Iris, and thanks everyone for joining us, this afternoon. All right, see you, take care, and bye-bye.